Hi everyone, it's Tanya Hertz here, and I wanted to share with you today a little bit about how to actually book a calendar invitation so that you can schedule a meeting with your mentor, with an advisor, with me, with your teams. I'm realizing I keep telling people, well, send me a calendar invite, and then when I get the calendar invitations, if I do even get them, they're a little off, and I'm starting to think that maybe we have to actually discuss how to do this so that you can see the process. You know, I do it every day, so I think, oh, everybody knows how to do this, but maybe not. So let's talk about it. Sorry if it's remedial, but I think it's important that that we show how to do this. And so you just want to go to the calendar. You can actually, let me show you. Actually, I'm going to show you just from the very beginning, like remedial as can be. Go to Google, right? Go to Google, click in the 9 little dots, go to calendar there. Now I have, I think 9 or 10 calendars linked together. They're all my calendars, but they're different things that I do. So let's just look at my personal, my personal calendar, and you'll want to make sure that you do that too. If you are joined to, like, for example, the rec calendar, I might have put you in there, which most of you I have. If you were to click Rec Innovation Center on there, what will end up happening is you're going to be booking a calendar invitation on the rec site. So that might not be what you want to do. Probably better use your own personal calendar, unless it is a rec event that you're booking for the rec. Let's stick to personal for the most part. Right, so you click on your personal calendar, and then you can book the event one of 2 different ways. Let's say I wanted to have a meeting today. I have a light day. This is nice. Okay. Only a few meetings. Let's book one more meeting with Carla, my TA, right? So we can do that by either double clicking up by the 2 today and adding it that way. Another way that we could do that is we could just go over here to the create, right? And then you look at the date here, look at all of the other things that you have here. Now I've put in an add-in, and that add-in that I've put in is connecting it to Zoom. I really suggest that you get the Zoom calendar add-in. It's a great add-in integration, and add-ins are a really useful thing. I highly recommend getting them. All right, so then let's show you how to make a meeting. I'm going to make this meeting with Carla. So whenever you're making a meeting, especially with me, but even whoever it is with, make sure that you don't just say meeting with the person you're meeting with. I have a couple of them. People send me meeting with, I see one of their meeting with Tanya. Okay, that's great for you, but for me, who am I meeting? So better would be to put the names. So we have Carla and Tanya, and then if you can even put in there the purpose of the meeting. So ours is going to be a one-on-one grading discussion, right? Discussion, blah, if I can type. And then you'll want to put the date, the time, etc. Well, there's not very much in here, so let's actually go to more options at the bottom, and let's go this way. So I know that I have meetings scheduled throughout the day. I'm not actually done until close to 7 p.m. right now. So let's say we'll do it at 7 p.m. And I don't want to do a 50-minute meeting. If you're sending somebody, a mentor or me, a meeting, we're not going to want to take an hour meeting. That's a lot of time. Most professionals, they're operating at a rate of about $1,000 an hour. So better to not ask quite so much from them. Let's do a 15-minute meeting. That's a lot more reasonable. Okay, there's no repetition. Event details. So Google automatically now has this Google Meet that they integrate in there. We don't want to use Google Meet. We're going to make it a Zoom meeting. I'm going to have the system use my personal meeting room just so that everybody knows where it is. No password required. Make sure that the host, that's me, has the video on, and that we keep the video participants video off, and we do that so that we don't have too much of a load on the system, because it will kick you out when the bandwidth is too much. In the options, I always allow the guests to join before I join. It's important because if not, they can't get in there until you let them in. Don't enable the waiting room if you have more than one participant, because if you do, they will be automatically placed into the waiting room, and then you will have to manually take them out of the waiting room, and it's just it's an extra step that you don't need. Mute the participants upon entry is another great way to make sure that if you're talking to a lot of people, that they don't all talk at once, but it's just gonna be Carla and I, so unmute them. Oh, I don't need this meeting recorded. And I want to make sure that I include the link in the location field so she can just click on that. Then the meeting type, for me, this is a paid account, so I have to say whether it's in student instruction or non-instructional, and it's non-instructional. Right? I don't think you'll have that. So continue there. So we have the meeting right now, 7 to 7:15. It's a Zoom meeting. There's 3 notifications. It's going to tell her 10 minutes before, 30 minutes before, and a day before. Now it's later today, so I don't need to have that one there. If I wanted to add a notification, I can also have emails, etc. Make sure that it's your calendar and not one of the other calendars that you manage. Make sure that you have it as busy in your calendar, or else what will end up happening is you'll get double booked. And I've had plenty of assistants who've set up meetings for me and didn't have that quite right. You can also, sometimes the more that's in there, it can confuse people. Often I'll take out all of the extra verbiage and just have the ID, right? It just makes things a lot clearer. Simplicity is the key, right? Tanya's inviting you to a meeting, and I already put what the purpose was up here. If you have not put it somewhere, you have to put the purpose, because people have lives, they're busy, right? Don't just assume. Now, I have my Calendly system for you to actually book with me. If you do want to make sure that I have availability, you can go through that Calendly link. But if you're doing a last minute meeting, for example, and there's nothing in Calendly, you can always send it this way. And then as long as you click modify event, then I can actually say, you know what, I can't meet with you then, but I'll meet with you at another time. Make sure you always do that when you're asking for a meeting for somebody and they don't necessarily, they haven't agreed to it beforehand, okay? If you know that the meeting is set, you can uncheck that, but we may make sure that we have that in a one-on-one. Now, if I'm sending it to multiple people, I always uncheck that, and always get rid of see guest lists when you're sending it to multiple people, just to be respectful of their personal private information. And I apologize if any of you had that shared. Been talking with everybody about not doing that, making sure that that's not clicked. All right, but Carla can see that I'm there, right? And she can modify that. And then we have to put Carla in there, right? And if you're sending it to me, you have to put me in there. Carla Wilmore right there, right? Now we're done. Everything looks great. Wonderful. I'll go ahead and send this to her. So I'll save that. Would you like to send her an email invitation? Yes, send that. And then that way she knows. Now, for me, that would pop right up on my calendar. It's going to pop right up on her calendar. She can accept it or not. She can change it. These, you know, we've got to be doing this. We've got to be doing this, or else, you know, we're asking them to be our secretary, whoever we're asking the meeting for, if we're not willing to actually send them a calendar invite, right? And I don't want to be your secretary, and I'm sure your mentors don't want to be your secretary. So don't make them, right? Don't make them. So send it to them so they don't have to do it for you. All right. So thank you all. I hope this was helpful, and I will see you all next time. Take care. Bye. And oh, one last thing. If you're sending the calendar invitation to me, and really to almost anyone, use a Google, a Gmail address. It's Google Calendar. It does integrate with other email addresses, but it's not as easy. Gmail is the way to go for this. Please use a Gmail address. All right. Take care. See y'all later.